Hello, everybody. I hope you guys are having a fabulous Wednesday. And I'm going to just jump right into this. So you see the title says, do you need an apology before you forgive, right? Which is big because a lot of people don't feel comfortable with giving an apology to someone that has done something to them before they receive an apology, right? And one thing that came to me the other day while I was in meditation, meditating with my ancestors, what came through very clearly was you don't need an apology from anybody before you can forgive them. You can forgive them without the apology, because this is the thing. 9 times out of 10, when we think somebody has offended us in some kind of way, they may not necessarily feel like they offended us the way we say that they did, right? So if you're waiting for them to apologize for something that you think they did wrong, but they don't think that they did anything wrong, then you're going to be waiting forever. And what happens is you end up holding yourself in bondage. You end up holding yourself hostage and connecting cords of toxicity from you to the other person. And what you're doing is you're keeping the both of you in a prison, and you're not able to set yourself free. And when we don't forgive, what we're doing is we're holding on to debt. So a lot of times people who have a lot of anger and resentment and refuse to forgive someone will tend to have cycles of financial instability. They will be doing well for a while and then have a dip in their finances. And that's because debt is directly connected to emotional debt, emotional strain on the heart, all right? Because you're still connected to an idea that you're lacking something. Most of the time when we have a hard time forgiving and letting go of something, it's because we feel like we must hold on to this thing because we're lacking. We're lacking the understanding from the other person. We're lacking that other person being in agreement with us that they did something wrong to us, right? So if I feel like I have to hold on to this grudge because I don't have anything else, because this person has not yet come into agreement with what I needed them to come into agreement with, then what I'm signaling to the universe, right, is that I don't have. So I'm creating more debt, more emotional debt, more financial debt. Because 9 times out of 10, if I feel like I'm lacking something, I'm going to go out seeking the things that I feel like I'm lacking to try to self-soothe. Remember, we talked the other day about the self-sabotaging behaviors, and one of them was instant gratification. Okay. Overspending, or trying to fill a void. Okay. Try forgiveness. Try letting go of the grudge that you've been holding against your loved one, your family. And listen, forgiveness is not about you forgetting. It's not about you saying, it's okay that you hurt me. You're not doing that. What you're doing is you're setting yourself free. You are cutting off the heavy anchors that keep you bound and locked down when you're trying to do this. You're trying to rise up. You're trying to ascend. You're trying to get lighter and freer. But you can't do that if you got a lot of anchors tied to you. If you're anchored in anger and fear and frustration and lack, thinking you don't have what you already need. See, you can forgive when you know that you already have everything you need. That part. It's easy for me to forgive someone because I'm like, you don't have anything that I need. And I've already set myself free because I've done the healing within myself to mend any wound that could have been caused from our interaction with each other. So when I'm healed, I have everything that I need. Therefore, I don't need you to apologize to me. Therefore, I can forgive. Forgive, right? It's not about the other person. It's really about us. It's really about you. I'm going to read something real quick and then I'm going to hop off of here. When you forgive, you become debt-free. You owe no one and no one owes you anything. That's true freedom. You no longer need to wallow in the pain of uncertainty. Be in the joy now with no attachments to an outcome. Somebody need to hear that. Okay? Forgiveness is not weakness. It's actually a major power move. Because now you're saying to yourself, to all parts of you, I'm ready to release this out of my energetic sphere. I'm ready to free myself up, lighten up my load so that I can create more open space for new energy to flow in. That's what you're really doing. And see, a lot of times people are wondering why they're having a hard time experiencing wealth and abundance, why they're having a hard time connecting with a loving partnership or having a loving partnership. Usually it's because your cords are still attached to something that no longer serves you. And usually it's an idea. Usually it's an idea. It has nothing to do with the person. Because if you are firmly rooted and grounded in your own power, it doesn't matter what somebody does. It doesn't matter what they do. You have a choice to allow it to bother you or not. That's your choice. And the more powerful you are, right? The more grounded you are, the more clear-minded you are, the more your heart is clear and open, the less you will attract mirrors of yourself. You're not going to keep attracting the reflection of pain that resides within you. So you don't have to keep experiencing the hardship and the hard relationship and the brokenness and the financial difficulty, because the more you are whole and feeling clear and open within yourself, now you're only attracting good energy. You're only attracting like-minded individuals. You're attracting people into your life that help up-level you and lift you up. And if you do hit a little rocky bump, it's not the end of the world. You're not ready to just chop their heads off. You're like, thank you for showing me the thing that I needed to see about myself. I appreciate what you just showed me. That's power. That's real power. Even if you got to take them down, even if you have to take them down, you don't have to do it from a space of hatred and anger. At that point, you're defending yourself because you have to, right? Because sometimes that's a thing. Sometimes you have to defend yourself spiritually, energetically, magically, physically. But even in those moments, that's an opportunity for us to see at what level did I attract that into my experience. How did I attract that? It's not a bad thing. It's not good or bad. It's just an opportunity to observe yourself, to observe where you are, to find where the needle is and fine tune it. That's all you're doing. Everything is just information. When you get to a healed space, you look at everything as information. And you take moves accordingly. Okay. It's not about not feeling or not having an emotion or not experiencing your emotions, you definitely have to experience your emotions, right? You got to feel it. And it's not going to feel good all the time, but it's just information. It's just there to draw your awareness to the real problem, the real issue, which is you 99% of the time, okay? And these outside experiences are versions of ourselves showing up to show us what needs to be looked at, what needs to be adjusted. Sometimes it's on a grand scale and sometimes it's on a smaller scale. Okay? Forgiveness, y'all. Forgiveness. Listen, I did that forgive the parental bloodline. What was it? Forgive and heal your parents. Right? I did that class a couple of years ago, right? Was that last year I did that class? I can't remember. So anyway, do you all know that there are still things that come up that you're going to have to go back in and forgive your parents for? Stuff that you don't even think is related. But when you take a look at yourself, when you back up off of it, I was having this conversation yesterday with a client. When you back up off of something, right, and you play the observer, and let me tell you something, sometimes that's easier said than done, because my mentor had to tell me to do that for a certain situation. And I was like, I tell my clients this all the time, right? But when you do back up off of something and get a bird's eye view of it and play the observer, play the mad scientist, right? Then you get to see the full picture and you get to see all of the moving parts, and you're not as so emotionally invested in the thing where you can't see the forest for the trees, right? Because sometimes when it's up in our face like this, is all we see is that one thing that's wrong. We see that one thing that's wrong, that one thing that person did that, that person did that. But you are so close up on it that you can't see the full picture. You can't see the role that you played. You can't see where this is really stemming from deep within inside of you. You can't see the little girl or little boy inside of you that is crying out for attention, affection, whatever, to be noticed. So when that happens, right, we point the finger. Yes, I'm pointing. I know you're not supposed to do this on lives when you're talking to people, but I'm pointing. Because when I'm pointing at you, guess how many are pointing back at me? 3, right? So when we point the finger because you did something wrong to me, you did that, that was bad, you did this, you did this, you did this, you did this, you're not listening to the other 3 fingers that's like, yeah, but I did those, they did that so that you could do this. They did that so you could do this. And go within and ask the right questions and sit with yourself. And then get the answers to how to proceed, to move forward, so that you can get what you want. All of this stuff, y'all, all of the stuff that I talk about with healing and doing the shadow work and going within and asking the right questions, this is so you can get everything that you want. This is the way you get everything you want. You can work your ass off. You can work 5 and 6 jobs. You can have side gigs. You can have 10 streams of different ways to make your money. Money comes and goes. But one thing that is constant is you and your energy and your mind and the hidden you underneath the surface. That's constant. That's always there. Always lurking in the background like, I'm waiting for her to pay attention to this so she can fix this because she keeps saying she wants X, Y, and Z. I'm willing to step aside and let her get it, but she's going to have to learn how to push me aside to get it. She's going to have to learn how to face me in order for me to agree to move over to the side so she can get it. This is the thing about our paradigms, our programs. Guess what? They're tired too. They're tired of teaching you the same lesson over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. They want to take a vacation. They want to take a break. They want a different job. Believe me. That thing that keeps happening, that toxic cycle that you keep, that cycle is like, will they please get it so I can stop going around and around in circles? I'm ready to do something else. I'm ready to play a different role in your life, but you keep on doing the same thing, getting the same result, wondering why nothing's changing. That thing is tired. I know, because I talk to those things all the time when I'm working with clients. That thing is tired. It's like, please let me go. Put me on a plane. Let me go on vacation. I'm tired of teaching you over and over again, and you ain't listening to me. It's tired of you. It's not trying to hurt you. It's trying to knock, 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 so you will finally answer and finally let it go and finally do something else with it. That's what it wants you to do. Forgiveness is a big, big, big part of the piece. It's a really big part of the puzzle. And so many people would rather hold on to the pain. They would rather hold on to the hurt. They'd rather hold on to the story because they're addicted to it. 9 times out of 10, you become addicted to the story and the feeling of that painful situation because on some level you feel vindicated. You feel you're convicted by it, right? You're like, no, they did this wrong. I gotta stand firm in this. You're addicted to being right. You have a need to be right. That's why you can't forgive. Because you're addicted to staying in the cycle, staying in the loop. The definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different outcome. You got to do something different in order to have a different experience. Can't keep running away. Nope. Things get tough. Things get hard. Can't keep running away, especially if the situation or the person is not there trying to kill you or cause intentional harm to you. And sometimes, even if it is there for that or they are there for that, sometimes your butt does need to stand still enough for it to hurt enough for you to hit rock bottom enough to finally say, okay, what do I need to do differently? That's an unpopular opinion. You know, who tells somebody to stay in a toxic, painful, potentially life-threatening situation? I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm just saying if your pattern is always running away from it, but then you find yourself back in the same situation, why keep running away from it when you're just going to run to a new situation with a different face, different name, but same energy because it's the lesson hasn't been learned yet? You might as well stay where you at until you figure it out. Might as well. Might as well, until you get it right. That's what this is all about, getting it right. And yes, there is, in this instance, there is a right and a wrong. There's a right and a wrong way to go about doing some certain things. You want to have a healthier body, right? You want to get rid of pain in the body. You want your hair to grow. You want to keep the weight off. You want to hold on to more money. You tired of making tens of thousands, hundreds of $1,000s, and then only having $300 at the end of the month to show for it, right? You're tired of living a life like that. There's a right way for you to start executing things so that you can see a difference, and there is a wrong way to do that if you want to see a difference. You can't keep spending the way you've been spending if you want more money to stay with you, unless you're investing. If you're investing, that's different. You're investing in your business, you're investing in yourself. That's different because that's going to yield a return. Eventually, it is going to yield a return, right? If you're investing it in the right places with the right people and you're putting the energy behind it, absolutely. But if you are blowing it on eating out every night, fall down drunk. And listen, there's nothing wrong with you doing what you want to do with your money, but what is the intention behind it? What's the energy behind it? What's the driving force behind you utilizing your money in a certain way? What's the driving force? Because you haven't forgiven yourself for something? Let's talk about self-forgiveness now. We just talked about forgiving others, but what about self-forgiveness? Some of us can't forgive ourselves for some stuff that we did. So now you're overweight. Now you got pain going throughout your entire body. You can't sleep at night. You can't hold on to any significant relationships or form deeper bonds with people. You can't even look yourself in the mirror. You can't even look in the mirror long enough so you walking around looking crazy because you ain't sat in the mirror for more than 5 minutes because you can't even look at yourself enough to comb your hair right, enough to put your makeup on right, enough for you to brush your teeth right. Self-forgiveness needs to come before you forgive the other person. Because now you have to forgive yourself for holding on to it for so long. Forgive yourself for thinking that somebody did something to you when they were doing something for you. Right seeing comes from healing. Right seeing comes from asking the right questions. Right seeing comes when you are ready. When you are tired and you have hit that rock bottom and you are just overwhelmed and you just can't do anything else, that's when right seeing comes in, because right seeing is like, okay, all right, I'm ready. I got to do something else because what I've been doing ain't working. And that's when everything inside of you starts to click and says, okay, now she's ready. Now let's bring her the right mentors. Let's bring her the right teachers. Let's bring her the right classes. Let's bring her the right books. Let's bring her the right people in her life, the right friends, the right type of lovers. Let's bring this family member back around again. You start opening doorways when you come into right seeing. The doorways start to open because now you have given full permission for all of creation to work on your behalf, to be conspiring on your behalf. You've given it full permission because you said yes, because you said, I'm ready. But when we are closed off, we close off to everything. If there is an area in your life that is closed, that you're closed off to, it's going to affect other areas of your life. Sometimes in the smallest way, sometimes in a very, very big way. This is why on Monday, I talked about self-sabotage, the different behaviors that sometimes go unnoticed, that we just think we're just doing it. You know, we don't even look at it as an unhealthy behavior pattern, right? We just look at it as that's what I do. Okay. You don't know what you need to fix until you know what you need to fix. And some people need a little help. They need the mirror put up to them like, hey, I hear what you're saying, but look at that real quick. Look at yourself. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. That's why I told you guys, get on camera. Like, even if you don't share the video, or you don't do the public live, film yourself on camera. Tell your story to yourself and play it back and watch yourself. Are you being authentic? Are you telling the truth? Are you still hiding something? So you don't have to tell me, and you ain't got to tell the world, but when it's just you and you should be able to tell yourself the truth. Yeah, like, yeah, I know I fucked up on that shit. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I know. Everything that's happening right now is because I did that or said that or I thought that. If you can be honest with yourself in the dead of night, that's fine. You don't have to tell everybody your business. But you must come into the awareness of yourself when it comes to just being with you. You have to do that. If you're not ready to do that, you're going to keep staying stuck in a cycle that doesn't feel good. And it's going to drive you mad. And it's going to come out in your body. It's going to come out in your work. It's going to come out through the way your finances are not organized and not flowing properly. It's going to come out in your relationships. It's going to come out in every way because it is trying to get you on the other side. That's what it's trying to do. It's all here to help you. Everything is here to assist us. Do you understand that? There is nothing here to hold us back or really hurt us like that. It's here to assist us. Even if that means needing to leave the physical form and return to the energetic form, the spirit form, for you to get a new experience. You understand? Nothing can really hurt you unless you define it as hurt. If you define it and you see it as something hurtful or painful, that is when you have suggested to yourself, this hurts, this is painful, this is wrong, they're wrong. You suggested it to yourself. So now your subconscious mind is lining up with that and saying, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Yep, they did do that. They did this. But if you look at it all as information, you take the power out of it. Immediately, you take the intensity off of it. And this is where right seeing comes in. This is going to help you forgive. This is going to help you forgive on a very, very, very deep level. From a place of compassion. And I don't care what happened to you. I don't care. You can say, yeah, but they did this. Yeah, but they took advantage of me when I was a kid. What's worse than that? Right? But even in that, there was something there to assist you in some kind of way. If you take time to sit back and look at it, if you listen to other people's stories, this is why it's important for people to share their stories, right? So if you listen to other people's stories, I have never been, I've never dealt with any kind of that kind of trauma, right? Sexual trauma. So I don't have that story. But if you listen to other people's stories who have gone through the healing process or are currently taking themselves through the healing process, the first thing they will tell you is that that was the hardest thing I have had to deal with, but I'm so grateful for it. Because it got me to this point in my life right now, to where I can talk about it. I have even forgiven the people that did that to me. Now, forgiveness, you can forgive. It doesn't mean that you can't take care of certain situations. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there. You can still take care of a situation and forgive and do that with love. You can. Because see, I don't believe in karma in the rote sense of the word. But I believe that each of us are here to teach each other a lesson. So if I got to handle you because you did something to me or my loved one or my child. It doesn't mean that I have to hate you. It doesn't mean that I have to hold you hostage for it for the rest of your life. You're going to hold yourself hostage, first and foremost. But I am also a teacher. We are all each other's teachers. So it is up to me to say this person needs to feel this. This person needs to be handled. And because I'm doing it from that place, I'm helping that person rise up. I'm helping them shift their energy and their minds and their thoughts. You understand? So it doesn't mean that you can't get your just desserts. You can. But you also have to free yourself when you do it. Okay? And that's where forgiveness comes in. Cutting them cords. Letting it go. And sometimes you do need to situate people because that makes the letting go easier. Because now you're like, I know they got their thing. They got what needs to happen. They got their just desserts, right? I know they got it. So now I can let it go. I can free myself. I can walk away from this. I can forgive them. I can forgive myself and be free because I know that they got exactly what they deserved. This is not about the Abrahamic way of turning the other cheek. This is not what this is. I don't go by that. I don't believe that. I don't walk that walk. I don't believe in turning the other cheek. I believe in freedom, me being free, me being light, my mind being clear, my heart being open, and remaining this open vessel through which blessings can flow consistently and easily. And if there is a blockage, I look at where that's coming from and I deal with it, right? But I do not believe in me letting somebody come smack me and me being like, I love you, go on, smack the other side. No, baby, that's not ever going to happen here. And I don't teach that. I don't recommend that. I think it's a very unhealthy way to live your life. But if you are going to give somebody their just desserts, then you're going to need to follow up with the rest of that step, which is forgiveness. They got what they deserve. Forgive them. Let it go. Set yourself free. And the more that you forgive, the faster you forgive, you will soon find that that memory becomes smaller and smaller and less significant and less powerful. The more, and then when you talk about it, it has zero effect on you. You don't even cry about it no more. You don't even well up anymore. Okay? So stop looking at forgiveness as a point of weakness. It's not. It's a power move. It's a major power move. It's a goddess move, a God move. Especially when you know how to move with it. Okay? So, on Monday night, I am going to have an open discussion in my Zoom, in my Mind Magic Institute classroom. Okay, and we're going to be talking about healing with adversarial energy. Okay, so that's a free discussion. You don't have to pay for it, but you can sign up for it at the Mind Magic Institute. I'll put it here. Okay. And it's called Infernal Shadow Work. So you'll just sign up for that for free. Also, this past Monday, I just did the the Breakthrough Bootcamp Reboot, which is also another free offering that you can get at the Mind Magic Institute. And of course, the Be Magic Manifestation Program is open for enrollment. You can go to the Mind Magic Institute and sign up there as well for that. There are plenty of videos floating around to talk about what the Be Magic program is. So let me put that in here as well. Hold up, sorry, y'all. Here, you can go here. Okay, you can go there and get yourself on the email list so you can get those classes and everything, okay? So if you guys want to learn more about utilizing your energy, working in the so-called dark sense, because that's how I work, right? I work using dark magic, okay, and light magic too. I'm a balanced magician in that way, right? But if you want to learn more about how to do things in integrity while still getting what you want and what you need to get done and not worrying about things coming back to bite you in the butt, then Be Magic is going to be a great program for you to get into. It's not just about manifesting. It's not just about that. It's way deeper than that, okay? This is a in-depth healing program, okay, that's going to take you into the subconscious mind to help you learn how to work out your paradigms, all right, in a way in which you're not going to have those problems anymore. And this particular cycle is very different because I'm bringing a lot of stuff that I had kind of held close to the vest for many, many years. I am now sharing that in this cycle. So this is the time for you to get in on it. All right. So check it out. You can go to Mind Magic Institute. All of it's there. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to inbox me. I'm, usually try to get back to you within 24 hours. Okay. But I love you guys. I hope that this video was helpful for you. You might want to check out some of my other Facebook groups, the Manifesting Success with Mind Magic and Make Him Worship You with Mind Magic, for my ladies out there. If you are interested in using this type of work in your relationships, it's very helpful. It's not just about getting somebody to worship you. It's a self-love process that goes with that, okay? So it's not just about you trying to get somebody to buy you something, all right? You can use it for that, but we're elevated beings, right? So we're not just in it for somebody to buy us stuff, because if you truly walk on the walk by yourself, you don't need nobody to buy you anything, right? This is about you rising up into your full goddesshood so that somebody else can be like, damn, that's a goddess right there. Now, if I want to deal with that, if I want to be in her realm, I got to meet her where she is. I have to be vibrating at that frequency. So that's what that group is about, okay? So if you're ready for that, come on, take the walk with me. And I love you guys. I appreciate your time, your energy, and your ear. Go on, check out the free stuff. I give away a ton of free stuff, right? William. I know, it's for ladies only though. It's for ladies only. So, but you know how to do that already. You don't need me to tell you. But I love y'all so much. I appreciate you guys listening to me. I appreciate you for purchasing the classes and showing up and, booking sessions and signing up for Be Magic and all of that. I truly appreciate you. Raquel, I can't do that. There's so many women in there. It was like, do not let no men in here. I ain't messing with them. Y'all not gonna have me messing with these goddesses in here. No thank you. I don't want that smoke. No ma'am, I don't want that. I don't want no smoke. So, nope. Listen, I don't want no smoke. I mean, my protections is ironclad now. Don't get it twisted, but I still, I'm a busy woman. I ain't got time to be doing no extra stuff right now. So, yeah, no. All right, y'all. I love you guys so much. I will see you in the next video. If you have any questions about any of the services that I provide, any of the classes, about Be Magic, hit me up. I'm happy to answer any of your questions, okay? Bye.